have a special talk by Mr. Jackson Joseph, who is a Public Relations Officer of St. Joseph's College of Engineering and Technology, Pali. He is an experienced marketer and a digital marketing professional. So it's pretty much clear that we have got an apt speaker for today's topic, marketing in the era of Industry 4.0. So please.
Good evening, friends. See, us, and very much thank to IEEE, SBSS, SJCET, and IEEE Kerala section for inviting me to this talk. See, I will be talking on marketing in the era of Industry 4.0. The slide is visible for you?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So when we are talking about marketing, there can be different type of marketings, right? So I'll just give a glimpse to different type of marketing in the sense, like we have paid advertisings, which is like newspaper ad, then again TV ad, radio ads, then course marketing. We'll be doing a marketing for a particular course, and again relationship marketing, which is like you are building a good rapport with the customer. So that is what relationship marketing is all about. Then comes, we have word of mouth, where we have like one person is referring a particular brand to other person. So that is like word of mouth. Then we have digital marketing, a term which is so much familiar in the current scenario. So which I will be discussing in the later stage. Then we have transactional marketing. You might have seen offers like buy one, get one free. So that will be coming under the transactional marketing preview. So let me make it a little more easier for you. What's marketing? Actually, we have marketing which is being defined by Steve Jobs. Every brand needs focus to retain relevancy. The way to get people's attention with marketing is not to talk about features or what a product does. It is to convey feeling and communicate what your company is and what your company is about. This has come from a person who was leading one of the biggest company in technical sector, from Steve Jobs. So it's marketing is about how do you position yourself as a company and how do you feature your company. Nathia, can you please mute your voice? Yeah, thank you. So here I'll give you a small video, glimpse of a small video, which is being done by Adidas, a marketing campaign which Adidas has undertaken. So have a look at it. What does this video communicate to you actually? Just before I said in my previous slide, what is it like to be marketing, right? And if you have seen the current video, Adidas has not mentioned what are the features of the shoes which is being shown. They have not talked about its features. They have not talked about its pricing. In normal cases, what we see in the current scenario, we are so much obsessed with marketing creations, specifically giving details of what is the product is all about. Those descriptions we can give in our website. So when you have marketing videos or posters coming up, which is totally bombarded with the details, a detailing of what the product is, so on and so forth, right? So I just want to know how you guys take up marketing, like how do you buy the products and all. So it could be connected with marketing areas which are undertaken by different companies, right? So before I am going to the next, see, you have seen the video and you have seen what is being said by 1 minute. What is being said by Steve Jobs on a marketing perspective. Right now, as I said, our posters and our marketing campaigns are being bombarded with the contents, in the sense the product details, product description, and the pricing. All the details are being included in a single poster, which makes us really tough to understand what the company is trying to convey. This is what happens most of the time. And before I get into the next slide, I would like to know how many of you have Redmi phones. Can you message yes, or you had owned Redmi phones? Say yes. Okay, it is pretty much clear that we have a huge number of people. Okay, yeah, Nikhil Reddy has said half of the population has. Yes, very true. Okay, so how many of you have studied about Redmi and the campaign or their marketing activities? I think not many might have gone into it in detail. So I'll have a question for you. So if you guys could just use this particular link, which I'll be sharing on the chat, and go to a poll where I have a couple of questions about why have you chosen Redmi for Redmi phone, and from your perspective, what made you to do so? Please visit this page. I'll have the questions ready there over there. Can you guys join in? Mohad, please use the link which is being provided. Yes, we have answers coming in. Okay. Okay, so it's yeah. So it's pretty much a mix of different factors actually. like close to 50, 60 percentage says pricing. Yeah, 20 percentage is saying specification, and word of mouth 4 percentage. Trying a new brand 7 percentage, quality of the product 11 percentage. Okay, it's the pricing is the biggest factor which has driven you to buy Redmi mobile, right? Okay, fine. Okay, now let me take you to marketing of Xiaomi in India. Also, Xiaomi as a brand. Xiaomi was formed in the year 2010 in China, a brand which is so young and currently a market leader in China as well as in India. These are the two hubs for smartphone market right now. So these two markets are being controlled by Xiaomi right now, and they are the youngest company to be featured in Forbes 500 ranking. So you must understand, this company was formed when Nokia was in its peak, when Motorola, Samsung, Apple, all were in the game, right? So with the marketing campaign, or what they have understood, what they understood from their peers, as well as the marketing study which they have undertaken, what they did. By the way, I would like to just ask a few questions with regard to Xiaomi. Do you know when Xiaomi entered Indian market? In which year? Can you just message, if anyone? Sorry, it's not 2015. Yes, it's 2014. Xiaomi entered Indian market in 2014 by having Flipkart as its partner. And do you know when they had actual a print advertisement on their newspaper? Any idea? They were not going for advertisements at all. The case study of Xiaomi marketing has been seen by many researchers as an experiment in Indian market, where their primary focus when they entered Indian market was having digital marketing, plus they had what we call social influencers group. They had a cluster of groups like social influencers group. They used to have them on board for the marketing activities. Along with that, they had digital marketing as well. The first full page advertisement of Xiaomi India was featured in Times of India Bangalore edition. This happened in the year 2015, totally after an year. They came into existence in the Indian market in the year 2014, but their first print advertisement had come to newspaper was a year after. How made them to wait till 2015 to have advertisements? You would be familiar with having full page jackets. The front page advertisement on newspapers are being called as jackets. The first page is called J1 and second page would be J2. So those are the times when we had Vivo, Oppo was making huge inroads with regard to marketing, with regard to newspaper advertisements. That's the time when Redmi was focusing on its product, and they were listening to the customers, and they were developing their product. So that was a market research which Xiaomi has undertaken and which had worked for them in China market. So they applied same principles here in India. And yes, pretty much sure that you have the results. Most of the engagements which we had recently, you came to know that most of the engagements has shown that it's like the pricing was the biggest factor for you guys to decide on taking on Redmi. I think pricing along with the features what they had offered, that also would have been the factor which might have driven you to take up the brand Xiaomi. So coming back to the slide, so I'll be just moving to my next topic, which is this is a part of marketing, which is digital marketing. Digital marketing has got different activities or different types of digital marketing can be done. One is pay-per-click advertising, PP, or we call it as PPC. PPC is the advertisements what you see on Google or different search engines where you click on an advertisement and you have to pay for it. And other form is search engine optimization. This is you can do it without having any cost incurred. By having a website, you can optimize the website with the keywords. We can have proper content which is being done for the website, so which will help in optimizing your websites. And social media marketing, see, most of you are familiar with different social media platforms, but how many of you would be looking at from marketing perspective? So that would be looking into. And other one is content marketing. We do have content, lots of content writers for creating fresh contents, because as I said, search engine optimization would also have a fresh content. So the content marketing comes into play for every product and services. Companies would be looking for fresh contents so that it will help them in search engine optimization. So content marketing also comes into play over there. And native advertising. Native advertising is the advertising which you would see on most of the leading what we call newspapers, online portals, so on and so forth. So you can see a native ad which is being said, it's like a content which is over there. It's like content market. It's a part of content marketing, wherein native advertising, it will be indirectly a marketing which is being done for a particular product or particular services. So if you look into scroll into different news portals, especially in Kerala, if you look into our major news portals over there, you can find native ad. We can see its promotion over there on the top of it, the contents. When we scroll down on newses, you can see over there is a native ad happening. Then email marketing. See, if you are subscribing, if you are downloading any app, or if you are subscribing to a particular tool or anything, they will be asking for email, and they will be asking you whether you would like to whether you like to receive emails from us with our new offers and so on and so forth. If you tick yes, definitely these mail IDs will be used by the companies to send you their offers, their new products, their new services. So that comes under email marketing. Then we have affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, wherein we have someone else who will be doing a marketing job for us. So they'll be having, they will be posting ads on their sites, or they will be promoting us, obviously for which we'll have to pay. So that's what affiliate marketing is all about. So now I'll be just looking into what is so special about digital marketing. Why do we have people like looking into digital marketing and there are lots of companies, there are lots of IT companies, especially IT companies coming into play, especially startups. There are lots of startups are coming into play in digital marketing. What are the key factors which is the driving force of digital marketing? I would just ask how many of you have any idea as to what would be the cost to have a full page ad on a leading newspaper for us, let's say like leading newspaper of Kerala, Malayalam Manorama, to have full page ad, how much does it cost? Anyone has got any idea? If you have any answers, you can comment on the box. Just curious to know whether you guys know how much would be the costing for a full page advertisement on a newspaper. 3 to 4 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 50K. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's 10 lakhs. Okay. Okay, 50 lakhs. Yeah, good, good. Okay, fine. Okay, now, to be frank, as a couple of you are near to that area, to have full page ad on a leading newspaper, which is called, which could be Manorama, and the costing for which a full page ad, it will be like anywhere close to, if it is a color advertisement, anywhere closer to 45 lakhs to 50 lakhs. So that's a huge amount you'll have to pay. It's for a front page. That's what I said. Front page or back page. The rate would be almost similar because those two are the pages which is priced very high. So that is the pricing we'll have. And the life of a newspaper is about from morning till evening, right? And if you make an error to your advertisement, a newspaper ad, can you rectify it? Once you deliver an ad, once a newspaper is being published, can you rectify the mistake which had happened to your ad, or after giving an ad, you can't take it back, right? Yes, you can take it. You can take the ad back, but you'll have to pay. What is you have to pay for it, right? It's like 40, 45 lakhs approx. Wherein digital marketing or digital advertising. Rudin, can you please mute? Yeah, thank you. Wherein digital marketing, see, the costing part is very minimal, and you can optimize your campaign. Optimize your campaign in the sense you have target audience. You can precisely target a particular group, and you can have a campaign exclusively for the group and how the results coming in. And if you find your creative side, which I said in my second slide, that our focus is mainly, while discussing on the second slide, I said our focus is mainly on talking about our product and services in detail and giving all the specifications in a single poster, which obviously make each one of us know to understand what they're going to communicate, because we will have to zoom in. And I think you guys don't give that much of time to have, look into a particular poster. So it's obviously how do you get attracted to a particular campaign, digital marketing campaign. So that's also a big factor in driving your traffic or in generating results for your campaign. Let's say, giving an example, you have a boutique and for which you are planning a digital marketing campaign. If you want to give a newspaper advertisement, the costing which I said, that would be the costing. And again, if you want to give an advertising on television, it is on per second basis. So that is also a huge costing which you will have. And on radio, that will be on 10 second or 5 second or 15 seconds. So that would be the charges for those radio ads. But with $70 per day, you can have digital marketing campaigns on social media. This has driven social media in the current scenario a huge impact on social media right now. But what happens again, there is something interesting happening on social media, which is that everyone and anyone are expert in social media campaign or digital marketing campaign. Most of the companies or most of the people, those who are doing digital marketing, their primary focus is giving a paid campaign. So along with the paid campaign, organic campaigns are also essential. Paid campaigns will give you a push, but you'll have a regular interaction on social media platforms. So if you're looking for a branding purpose or if you're looking for marketing, if you're looking for digitally, what happens, a regular interaction is essential. And the campaigns, paid campaigns, what you'll have, anytime you can withdraw it. Let's say I have uploaded a campaign which I said like approximately for $70 per day, we can have a campaign. And within initial 1 to 2 hours, I find that the poster which I had for my campaign is not working for me and it's not bringing out any results for me. Then and there itself, you can withdraw the poster or you can post the campaign and have a new design installed instead of the previous design and get the campaign going. So hardly you will be losing, let's say like 15 to 20 or $25. But where in conventional marketing, you can't recall it back. If you find that there is something going wrong, you are not generating enough results, you can take it back. But for digital marketing or for social media marketing platforms, you can immediately take it back, or you can post a campaign and you can have the campaign restarted after addressing the issues. So that's the area where digital marketing helps you to do the marketing, and social media platforms are being used by each one of us, and we use it for communicating with our colleagues or with our friends, or we can say our like family, friends, so anyone, for that matter, we use it for communication purpose. We can also turn this platform to be a marketing platform as well. So most of you would be aware. If you are looking into, I think I will come to a survey later on. In the sense, I want to know how many of you are using, which are the platforms you are using, and I'll have a different topic discussion on those platforms and how those platforms can be used or are being used for digital marketing. So let's just go for the next survey. I mean, please don't respond right now. 1 minute. Let me just clear it out. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to know, you can just log in the same link which I had shared earlier. And we have a different question right now available. And I just want to know which are the social media platforms you use daily. Can we have the answers coming in? Okay. So
could you present? Okay.
yeah.
Then. Yeah, make it full screen, sir.
Of course.
Okay.
So we have like Instagram 58%, Facebook 8%. Yeah, it's increasing. WhatsApp 33%. Come on. Okay, LinkedIn. Okay. Can we have more response coming in? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's like we have majority of our yeah, people responding to Instagram. Okay. So WhatsApp has overtaken Instagram right now. Okay. Yeah. It's neck to neck. All right. Uh, have you done? Okay. I think it's pretty much clear that in the current scenario, I mean, with having this poll on your screens, the current scenario, what happens, Facebook has been totally overlooked by the population of having age 18 to 24. The platform which is so popular among this age category is obviously Instagram. So Facebook has lost the charm in that group, but Facebook is doing pretty much well. Probably if you have seen the newspaper clipping of last month, sorry, not this month, last week, it was said that Facebook has added close to 50 million new users recently. So the age group is totally different, not yours. That's like from 26 and higher range. So this is pretty much clear. Your age group will be, mostly on Instagram and WhatsApp, which is very true. And if you are going to have a campaign, let's say a particular product, a company or product you have, like a campaign which I had mentioned little earlier, the boutique thing. If boutique, you're targeting your audience like an age between 18 to 24, will it be helpful for you to have a campaign running on Facebook and looking for a result? Can you just message yes or no? No one. See, my question was that if your age group, if I have a boutique and I am targeting Facebook audience for a marketing campaign, and I am looking for a result from Facebook campaign, will it yield me any result having a campaign on Facebook? Okay, yeah, no, it's obvious that I mean, from our survey, from the participants those who participated here, we can immediately understand. Anurag has said it depends. Yes. See, if that's what I said, our target audience is going to be 18 to 24. See, I don't think it will yield much result because it's obvious from the participants of this particular webinar that majority of them are using other platforms and hardly 3% of them are using Facebook. So I don't think that will yield us much result. But wherein, if we club campaign along with the Facebook and Instagram, because Instagram is also owned by Facebook. So when we have a campaign for Facebook, also has a possibility of having the campaign running across Instagram as well. So if you share the Instagram campaign along with the Facebook campaign, definitely this campaign will yield us results. But definitely if you're focusing only on Facebook, you might not get the result as you expected. So you obviously need to have a clear understanding of what is happening in each and every platform and who are your target audience. That's the primary objective you have to work on. So for that matter, any marketing campaign you undertake, you need to have an understanding as to who are our primary target audience and where are they and what do we want to communicate to them. That's the area which we'll be looking into. And that's how we will have campaigns on digital platforms. Okay, so this is what I was referring to social media marketing. So Facebook, obviously, which I discussed, Facebook and Instagram, then LinkedIn. See, LinkedIn is a professional networking sites. Along with that, we do have campaigning, digital marketing campaigning options available in LinkedIn and YouTube. You would be familiar with currently what is happening around YouTube, and like reaction videos of TikTok and so on and so forth, and who are actually making money because you have a TikTok video happening and you make a reaction video on uh, YouTube, and you put it on YouTube, and you guys are going to YouTube and commenting and sharing the links and saying so on and so forth. What happens? Actually, the one who has reacted to it and he's sharing the video, he's the one who's making the money, and we are actually looking into it, and he would be just like shooting up the viewers numbers, and he's making a good amount of money by just having to smartly using his skill, which is like reacting to a particular video, which obviously freely posted on you TikTok. So that's what happened of recently. So I was having a curiosity to look into both the sites, like TikTok and YouTube, and to understand, because if you have a reaction video happening on TikTok to a particular post what happened on TikTok, so you won't be able to earn anything. But might as well, you have that reaction video coming on YouTube and sharing the link. What will happen? Definitely, our viewers will increase, and our viewers will increase, and people will be reacting to our post, and yet again the positive side and negative side. Yes, I mean, can be having marketing can be done. Negative marketing is also possible thing, which in the current scenario with regard to digital marketing, negative marketing has been taking a trend right now. For it could be for a particular product, or it could be for a particular brand, so on and so forth. That is one side which the marketing scenario right now have. Yes, so I'll just before getting into this side, I'll just go to a story of a social media campaign which we had undertaken with Malayalam Manorama. We, in the sense, that's why I said it's a media club. Actually, we have a club in our college called the Media Club, wherein we have students who are interested in different spectrums, in the sense like photography, videography, Photoshop, video editing, and again we had digital marketing as well. They join in, and they explore different their area of interest. So we had undertaken a campaign along with Malayalam Manama for their prestigious program Travancore First, which happened in Kottayam, Kerala. So we were happy to associate with them for that particular campaign, and we had, let's say, like hardly 1 week. Once we got the confirmation, we had just 1 week before starting our campaign and before starting the event. So this particular program was happening for the past 10 years. This was the first time they were focusing on digital platforms. And we went out for a campaign, and we had worked out campaign exclusively for people who are residing in and around Kottayam, a particular location of 40-kilometer radius. So our campaign, paid campaign, was precisely for the people those who are staying in and around Kottayam district, 40-kilometer radius. And how to get, because the challenging factor was that they never had a page for that particular product. So creating a new page on social media platform was a challenging one, because the next week we have the program happening, and we created it on Facebook as well as Instagram, and we had the campaign going on those two platforms. Interestingly, what happens is that we were seeing that people were not engaging to the page because this is totally new page, and they were not engaging. So we had different plans along with the Manorama, campaign team and their creative team. A discussion had happened, and we had come up with a couple of online competition. And normally, if you look at to any, I would say any of the media houses at that point of given that point of time for their particular product, they were not using a daily competition online and giving a result the next day. And what we did, we had a quiz competition which was called Great Travancore Quiz Competition, and we used to release posters on daily basis with the questions, and we used to give the answer next day, and we had a deadline by saying that by this time of the next day we'll be closing the answers. The people used to, you can use the platform to comment. It was on Instagram as well as on Facebook. When these two platforms we had this uh, you know competition going on, interestingly people started responding, and we had answers coming in, and we next day itself we announced winners by giving the profile pics, and winners were directed to contact Malayalam Manorama. The campaign was handled by us, and the winners were directly contacted by Malayalam. They were supposed to contact Malayalam Manorama to receive their prizes. So that's a particular campaign which we had undertaken, and to engage audience on regular basis. So how do you engage your audience on social media, for that matter, any program you undertake? That matters a lot rather than having a paid campaign going on social media. It's important to have we do have, important to have campaigns on social media wherein we do have organic reaches also happening, right? So that also needs to be looked into. So that's one, experience sharing which I had, and the next one which I would discuss is of our college Tech Fest, which happened in 2017. At that time, this was not a trend. Facebook was pretty much a place where people used to get along. At that point of time, our official Facebook page, St. Joseph College official Facebook page, had roughly around like 12,500 likes. And towards the when we had our Tech Fest happening, that particular week, to my surprise, we had roughly around 1.25 million reach for a particular week. We were not having paid campaigns happening in our page. We just had organic things happening in our page, organic events or organic posts happening in our page. So that has yielded us such a tremendous response when the page only had hardly 12,000 likes. And again, if you look into, if you are keen and if you are watching the pages on social media, especially in Facebook and all, you can see pages which has got 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 7 lakh likes. And when they post a particular post, they have hardly have 5 to 6 likes or shares. Why? It's because probably that particular posting is not bringing out encouragement from their audience. Yeah, WhatsApp and Instagram improve their apps. Okay. See, so yeah, that's very true. And Instagram, when you say that Instagram and WhatsApp improve the apps, you must understand these two platforms are being owned by Facebook right now. Okay. So it's not different one altogether. They are also, these two platforms are also owned by them. So that makes it easier for Facebook to reach out to different type of target audience. they have target audience, and Facebook will be having target audience where like 26 and above populations are mainly on Facebook. And if you're looking people below 24 years of age, they are mainly on Instagram. And WhatsApp, obviously, a messaging software, considering as a messaging of software, it's so popular that for immediate communication or day-to-day communication, we use WhatsApp for our day-to-day communication. So that is the. And coming to my next topic, I discussed just generally. Okay. So the next topic is going to be what is the marketing in industry 4.0. That is like how the digital marketing is going to play in the coming decade, or coming decades, I would say. That's like artificial intelligence in digital marketing. So when I say artificial intelligence has a huge role to play in digital marketing, it's like artificial intelligence can hyper personalize the customer experience by analyzing their profiles. You guys will be having profiles on Amazon, Flipkart, and the Myntra, like shopping sites. You have profiles, right? And you must understand one thing: Amazon is pretty much doing this thing right now, artificial intelligence in their campaigns, digital marketing campaign. Yes, okay. Yeah, okay. These profiles, the profiles what you have, they are capturing your, let's say, like your budgets, what you're looking for. Let's say you're looking for a mobile phone. Okay, I mean, we'll take it example of mobile phone. Yeah. They will be looking at, like, if you're searching for a mobile phone range between 10,000 to 20,000, the best mobile phones available, you will be searching for it, and you will be looking for star rating, and then you will be analyzing those mobile phones, right? And once you go into that, and you will be shortlisting one particular phone, and you might buy or you might not buy. These details are being stored, and these details are being used by data analysis, the data analytics tool, as well as artificial intelligence. Along with this data, we have which are the brands which we are looking for. If you're looking for Apple, which is below, like let's say 20,000 bucks, that means you are looking for a premium brand which will be having an offers. If you're looking at whether they have an offer below 20,000, so that clearly shows your search pattern and which are the brands you are looking for. If you're looking for a high-end brands, they have those details. Those details are being stored, and what are the products you have brought, these details are available with them, and they optimize it. And obviously, if I am a marketer and if I have a product, I'll be receiving this feedback. Like, these are your customers are looking for this criteria, and they're looking for this particular brand, price range between this and this. So if I want to increase the sale of a particular phone or particular product of that range, I can give extra discount. That is why when you look into big billion sale and so on and so forth, they have marketing analysis in play, and they do have big data analysis. Along with that, they do have artificial intelligence analysis, which helps them in understanding their their customers preference, and again their customers interest, and what is the range in which they could afford. So let's say hundreds of people, let's say like hundreds, thousands of people are looking at a phone range between 10,000 to 20,000, also a premium brand. And this information can be given to a retailer, wherein if he can afford and he is looking to not to optimize the profit from a single sale rather than having more number of units being sold and increasing his profit, if the person is looking in that perspective, this data helps him in lowering the price and have a campaign going on those pages. Definitely, we will be looking for like discount of so and so much rupees, and obviously we tend to buy because we were searching for that particular product, and we see that that particular product has come to our range. Yes, and we could buy. So this is how digital marketing is being done, or it could be done in the future. And along with this search histories, or like your user profile data, they do have amazing thing which tool which is right now happening. That is audio searches. See, I think with the advent of like let's say discount is product to attract customers. Obviously, see, I mean, why should someone attract customers? Because they need to sell the product, right? And discount. That's what I said in the my first slide. When like one product for if you take buy one product and you will get a one product free. Those offers are being coming under marketing. I mean, like a type of marketing side. Uh, sorry. So this product would be identified, and it is easier for us to understand how to create a product and what could be the price range and what are the people are looking for, what are the specifications they are looking for. So artificial intelligence and big data analysis in the digital marketing side, which helps the marketers to understand what do they have and how can they take it up forward. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and how can they take it up forward and well, let's say what could be the product and services customers are looking for. Coming back to our Redmi story, see, Redmi was looking at what do the customers are looking at, and they were keenly looking for the customer feedback, and they were going back to the drawing room, and they tried to get it adapted. So they had each and every week, they had new batch of phones which are being shipped after adapting to the customer's review, and their engineers were going to the drawing board and making changes. So that's how the Redmi success story has happened. So similarly, see, these factors also helps marketers to understand what product and services and what are the specifications and how they are looking into, what are the customers are looking for, and how they are looking into, and what are the age range they're looking for. If you're looking at, let's say, a particular product, and see in the marketing scenario or in the product 21st century, there is another big story, or probably not a story, another big study which I could call is the fall of Nokia. So if you are looking at a particular mobile phone, and especially a mobile phone which was having sorry, I didn't understand. Will it shows product rather than, okay, one minute, I'll be just reply and go. Will it show good products rather than choice of customers? That depends, because how the marketing strategy I'll have. So it's not necessarily a good product actually. I can optimize a campaign and I can have a product which is being listed over there. And what happened? Okay, I was referring to Nokia. Yeah. See what had happened to Nokia. See, and when you are looking at Nokia had 75% of global mobile phone sale. This is a time when they were in peak, and it was like, let's say around like 2007, 8, those times they were on peak. They had 75% of the total global market, 2005 to 2007 range. They were not keenly making any improvement on the product, but if you're looking at the basic concept of how to make your product successful in a market, basic concept is that you will have better product, best pricing, good build quality, and best customer service. If you look into Nokia phones, these three factors were there. If you're looking into Nokia phones, these factors were there. Nokia, the iconic Nokia 1100, the phone which has absolutely, yeah, the phone which was built so much strong, and even if it was falling from our pocket, it was not going to break, and we didn't have to worry about virus attacks. Yeah, yeah, those modern, absolutely. Nokia's, all the Nokia phones, they had a really good build quality. Along with that, it was affordable. Yeah, it is, the pricing was affordable, and services was pretty much easier. In the sense, any of your local mobile shop or mobile vendors, they could afford to repair it. It was not that much complicated at the given point of time. Nevertheless, having these key factors to become a business success, Nokia failed. Nokia failed miserably. Why? It's a big market study or a big product study actually in the 21st century. A product which is having 75% of the global market has coming down like anything. It has gone down so down. Why it happened? Have any clue? Absolutely. Ritik, you said it. They didn't. They never understood the aspiration, or they didn't make changes to the aspirations of the common man. And when you look into economics, there is human wants are unlimited, but resources are limited, right? So here comes human wants, unlimited human wants, wherein, yes, we have higher aspiration. We do, I mean, we want to have, but we are looking at, we do want to have a phone which performs literally all our tasks, right? For taking photos, we are looking for a better optimized camera and so on and so forth. And for having this, probably most of you are attending this section webinar on your mobile phones. Yeah, so that's what we are looking at. We are looking to do multiple tasks from a single device. So that point had not gone down to the team of Nokia, which had literally made them to fall, because Android had approached Nokia, to have like combined together and developing it to going against our Apple and on. But Nokia was so much into Symbian that they were so confident that their Symbian software would perform better, and their Symbian software could be doing better than Apple's. So that had a huge impact, and they underestimated Android. And so the rest is history. What happened with Android and what happened with the Nokia, it's a history for us, because Nokia was brought by Microsoft. Again, that also didn't work out. And then we had again another company buying Nokia, and they're coming into market right now. But yes, they are making inroads, but not as much as Redmi is making in the current market, because Redmi has come into the picture only in 2010, and right now they're leading the market in China as well as in India. So here we do have marketing side, like how the marketing areas we'll be looking into. And marketing doesn't mean that we'll have to just project our company or our product or services in front of the public. It's not merely projecting it, it's understand the product what we have and get the customer feedback and optimize our marketing campaigns with regard to customer feedback and customers' aspiration. We like to, yes, absolutely. Adapt to new technology and again understanding the customers' feedback and understanding what they want. And again, as I said, human wants are unlimited, but resources are limited. That is why when most of you have voted for pricing on Redmi, and with that pricing, a competitive technological advancement mission is what you had looked for. And that's what Redmi had provided. That's what like the AI, artificial intelligence, is going to play, and again speeds up production of certain types of formats and contents. And see, you would be surprised if Forbes have a couple of their contents coming in from artificial intelligence. It's being already generated by system generated contents which are being published on Forbes. And the other one, artificial intelligence powered software can decide what content to create and when to distribute it. That's what I said previously. Again, these details are available on those profiles, or you being in social platforms, or being on online, being on internet. Your details are being captured, and they have for marketing, they have all these details with them, and they will use it for marketing purpose. And again, process vast quantities of data and make accurate predictions based on patterns of emerging from it. Yeah. So this is what we are looking forward to, like probably in a decade's time. And again, predict customer behavior and identify and nurture most valuable leads. That's what important from a marketing perspective. Like you are looking for, yeah, quality plus low price is equal to customers. My thought. Okay. Yeah, obviously, that's what I said. Human wants are unlimited because our wants or our wishes are unlimited. What we are looking for is more and more, and we are not satisfied. We are not containing ourselves. We are not at all. We are never satisfied with what we have. We are looking to have something more to be added to, and something more to to have in our gadgets. That's what we are looking at. We are looking at having all the features probably, having in a single palm. That's what we are looking for. That's why we have probably most of you are being in lockdown. You are accessing your classes on mobile, right? I mean, you'll be having hangouts going in. Yeah, Redmi likes. Okay. I mean, yeah, that Redmi was a story which I had used. Why? Because they were having a zero budget marketing. Why we call zero budget marketing? Simple thing. Because their marketing budgets is not that much high. They have literally very hardly probably 2% of their like expenditure, or 2 or 3% of expenditure would be falling into marketing side. So that's why when we call it zero budget marketing. So that's the reason I had taken the name of Redmi. And again, a company which had making so much high inroads in the technological era. So right now what we are looking at is, in the future of marketing, conventional marketing and okay yeah, conventional marketing along with digital marketing is going to be there, and it is going to stay, and it's going to coexist together, because both the areas needs to be there to have a huge impact in the market. The previous ad which I had shown, the Adidas ad, Adidas was not showing the details of their product. They were merely showing they have so and so much product, and that's what they wanted the customers to see. So those are the marketing campaigns which are being undertaken by various houses, and marketing will be having different factors, because if you're looking into if you're looking into like what we call marketing campaigns they undertaken by different companies and different perspectives. They have mix of everything. They have mix of conventional marketing along with the digital marketing. That's the way forward. And digital marketing will be having greater role to play in the coming centuries. Why? Because people are so much into digital world right now, and they are regularly engaging audience on digital platforms. Yeah. So, with this, along with this, I will just conclude, and I'll have a Q&A section wherein you can raise your, because a couple of you are having comments going on chat, which I couldn't read every time because I was looking into other presentation slide. So, Q&A section will be there for you, and where you can raise your questions, and I am happy to help with the answers what I'll have with my limited knowledge and experience. I'm happy to help you guys with that side. So we'll just go to the Q&A section. You can use this link and for the Q&A section, and yeah, let the questions come in.
Okay, all. Now we start with the Q&A session. You can all ask questions through the link.
Nobody has any questions? All the questions were asked on chat. Guys, no one has any questions? So can we wind up a section? Because I think if you're looking, keep on talking about marketing, digital marketing, and going into depth, that will take more time, because I have just briefly explained about different perspectives of marketing, and shared a few of my experiences in marketing. Okay, you talked about zero budget campaign. Can you clearly explain that? How does it help in marketing? Okay. What do you think is affiliate marketing? Please brief up. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So I'll take it up the first question, and zero budget campaign. Zero budget campaign, as I said, a total value of Xiaomi, it's 50 billion, and what they had, it's zero budget campaign. What they had is what we call digital marketing along with networking groups. Networking groups are seen those who are influential on social media. What Xiaomi has done, and again, this also is a big factor in Xiaomi. In big factor in zero budget campaign is that you have influential groups coming into you, and you have a group wherein influential groups and influential peoples are coming in, and what happens there, you bring them on board and explain to them about your product and your services, and they have become your brand ambassadors. For example, let's say one of you, who is active on social media platforms, who is have good rapport with the public. And yeah, thank you. And so what happens is that when you have that influencer people coming into you on board, and they are your brand ambassadors, See, some of you have mentioned why you have chosen those brand, this brand, and like pricing and so on and so forth. But I think one more factor is included in it. Before what I have done, that's what I would say, is that before looking into like buying a particular phone or particular gadget, what I will be looking for, like spec and its pricing. And the next side, what I'll be looking if any of my friends or anyone who is known to me has brought it, and I'll ask for his or her opinion. How is the phone functioning? Like how does it function? Is it useful? And you have any issues with it? So I'm in a real time. I'm getting feedback from a person who can influence me in buying it. So if you are such an influential person, you can influence and you do have that rapport with networking capacity. What they do, they will take you on board, they'll have you, and if you're looking at Xiaomi's most of the product launches, just look at it. They have these groups coming in and they give them prices. They have a gala dinner and they have them on board with them. And these guys go back and they are brand ambassadors for Xiaomi. That's how you do zero budget marketing. Having social influential team along with you and giving them a briefing about our product and services, and they act as our brand ambassadors. So that doesn't cost us how much would be costing for a advertisement campaign on TV, or for that matter IPL, ISL, whatever it may be. So those are costly, and these things are not costly, but these are reliable, and again people tend to buy it. So that's what zero budget campaigning, and it helps in marketing. Hope that question is being answered. Is it good way to use Adidas way of marketing? It depends. It depends totally on the society. Yes, in this why I said society in the sense, because see, we have to understand first and foremost. You need to understand what product and services you are going to market, whom are you going to market, and who are your target audience, and where are your target audience, and which all are the platforms you can use to reach out to your target audience. Let's say a particular thing, let's say what we call for paralyzed person or elderly person, if you are making a particular product, and if you if you want to reach out to them, a person on bed, he or she is not going to look into Facebook or Instagram. I mean, we cannot have a campaign, to reach out to them with social media or like digital platforms. Sorry, no. So those are the areas that's what we will look into. Each and every campaign has to be created, take into consideration who are your target audience, and how do you want to target, and how do you want to reach out to your target audience, how well your target audience is defined, and how well you have done the market research. That will help you to bring out the best in you, and that will help you to make a decision as to where you want to do the marketing and how do you want to do the marketing. The Adidas way of marketing, I said, why? Because that is for that particular class, that audience actually, because each and every web audience is different. And earlier days, we had for movies, we had announcements happening and flyers. People were, traveling on like rickshaws and jeeps with flyers saying that this movie is being played in this theater. See, at that given point of time, that was being used. That was being used, and that had to be the platform to reach out to the people. It always depends upon your target audience. Who are your target audience? Define your target audience, and how do you want to reach out to your target audience? That's what matters. Okay. So the Adidas Houston is being affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is not being done, that much, because you affiliate with a particular website. Let's say MPL, for example, because MPL is now coming into like gaming and so on and so forth. So You affiliate with MPL and you have your advertisement campaigns reaching out to MPL customers, in the sense the people who also coming to play in MPL, or in those areas they can insert advertisements targeting to the audience, and you'll have to pay to the MPL. And there are different type of websites actually. And for example, we have Manorama Online, we have Madhubhumi Online, we have Deepika Online, different websites, like the Times of India, different websites are there. And if you want to have advertisement on those websites, what you'll have to do? You'll have to pay amount for them. So that's what affiliate marketing mainly is all about. And you'll have to affiliate with a particular brand, and they have a huge presence online, and you make their like audience to see your product and services, what you have to offer. That's what affiliate marketing is all about. Is there any possibility for Nokia to do the business again? Absolutely, it's depending upon, they do have possibilities, and it's totally depending upon how you understand your audience, you understand your customers. Nokia has that legacy. If you look at Nokia when they launched in India, relaunched in India, they had same tune that Nokia tune was playing. So that is a soothing in ears for a good number of them. So they do have possibility, but they have to listen to the people, and they have to listen to the customers and understand their needs, and they have to price, they have to have competitive pricing, they have to have a product which needs to take on head along with the competitors. That's when like they'll have a possibility to come up with how to influence others to promote our product. How to influence others, it's like how do you influence others, in the sense the question is actually a bit vague. Others, as in like the marketing is a way area by which you influence people to promote your product and services. So for that we are using marketing. So marketing is a tool. So marketing, there are different types of marketing can be undertaken, as I said. So you could use any of your the previously discussed campaigns, or previously discussed areas. You have to first and foremost, you have to understand who are your target audience, whom are you going to target, and how well is defined your target audience, how well you do the market research. Before getting into a product development, first and foremost, one has to do market research and understand the possibility of having a particular product and how well you can take it up forward. That's what you'll have to do. How tough was your journey to be marketing specialist? The journey was not tough. Why? Because you need to have a passion, and you need to have an interest for it. And if you have that, definitely it's not a tough at all. You had to see, as what I believe, you had to keep on learning. Learning is never ending process. Once you stop learning, once you say that after completing your graduation, after completing your post graduation, you are done, your studies are over, that's the biggest mistake you are going to make. Why? Because the technology is getting evolved, the market is getting evolved, the community and the geographical and economical factors influencing you, that also gets evolved. So you had to adapt to it, and you had to learn new things, and you had to adapt yourself to it. And for me, the journey is right now it's 11 years into being into the marketing side, and precisely saying digital marketing is more than 5 years right now. I'm a person who had a Facebook account and did not know how to use it. Earlier, I was using Orkut, which was familiar for me, and for me, using Facebook was really tough. Using Facebook and these tools has happened only mainly because I learned digital marketing, mainly because I had joined St. Joseph College of Engineering and Technology, Palai, and came to know that reaching out to students about what is happening in our college and what is happening across, the best medium for doing so was digital. Since I was doing, like I am public relations officer, I was engaging with media houses, and I had this feedback coming in from students saying that they haven't seen a news came in the newspaper. And this had brought me an idea as to where are they. I mean, if I want to reach out to students who are my, like engaging people, so how should I engage them? So that's when I understood they are on social media, and I have to understand social media, and I have to learn it. A platform which was not known to me, or probably not in the sense detailed. And Facebook, if you look at my Facebook page, post 2015, I don't have any post on my Facebook page. But yes, after 2015, I joined SJCAT. Yes, it's being flooded with posts. Yeah, obviously, because I was also learning it, and again, yeah, learning it how to do it, and so on and so forth. So my journey obviously has been really good. And yes, good. How can we improve marketing session in online media? See, I would say that there are lots of institutes and there are lots of programs happening in online learning digital. You can learn digital marketing. And see, I have seen a couple of courses saying that you can learn digital marketing. Sorry, I'm so sorry to say that I'm a person believes by doing it, you learn it. Sorry, theoretically, you can't learn it. Theoretically, this helps you. Theory is the thing which helps you to understand what is behind it. That doesn't mean that you understand the logic of it. So you have to have hands-on experience and get into it to understand the marketing side, or you understand the digital marketing. So those are the areas which you'll have to work on, keep on working, because this is the area it is getting evolved every now and then. By just having a cliche item does not work each and every time. You need to have campaign, you need to have plans put in place where you can leverage the maximum from social media platforms, social media or digital platforms. You need to have a plan. You need to have a keen watch on those platforms wherein you can get the feedbacks, what is happening and what is working for you, what is not working for you, and adapt yourself and make changes and go forward with the campaigns, or go forward with the plans. That's the way forward. Any more questions? Yeah, and one more has come up. In your opinion, which is the best? I mean, you mean my opinion, Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram? See, I'm a person who is doing a bit research on these platforms because I have a paper work which is going on this platform, and with regard to different topic actually. Okay, yeah. See, in my opinion, for immediate and fast communication, which we had seen when we had floods coming in. See, I will take this opportunity, to just share my thought with regard to when this question was asked. When Kerala flood happened, how did you guys mobilize resources? Actually, most of us were on social media platforms, right? And I had a survey and I have the answers with me. And this has clearly shown that we can mobilize resources by using social media. But look at the COVID, when COVID is happening in Kerala, how our society is being informed each and every time. Government has come up with apps. They do have official Telegram account, Facebook accounts. Yeah, I mean, and again, Instagram official channels are there, and they're going live. So these are the tools they use, to get into, get and information. So it's not just one tool. So Facebook for you guys at the edge, probably from 18 to 24, I would say that is not your platform. Probably it could not be, because you don't have much things to do over there. But elderly ones, for them, safe bet is Facebook, and they're pretty much happy with Facebook. You guys are pretty much happy with WhatsApp and Instagram. Yes, they are pretty much happy with Facebook, and they're getting into Instagram. Yes, obviously, for them, understanding the Instagram and those platforms might take time or could be a bit difficult for them to understand. That could be the reason why we have not much enrollment on Instagram from a population like that's what I said, 26 to 34. That second range we have on Instagram, and above 34, yes, we don't have much people on Instagram. Age range, that's what I said. Yeah, I suppose most of the questions are being answered. Yeah. So thank you so much for this wonderful interactive section. I hope I had answered most of your queries with the experience or with the knowledge I had, because I can always speak from the knowledge or experience what I had. Again, I mightn't have gone this and that areas. Probably, I think from the responses what I am seeing on the chat, I think a couple of you have gained some knowledge as to marketing, how this marketing functions, on what is happening in the marketing side, what is happening in the digital marketing, and again how social media marketing works. It's a brief section, and I cannot talk in depth about those platforms and so on and so forth. Yeah, and thank you so much. And if you guys have any questions, any query, you can just write into me on my mail ID. And yes, definitely my mobile number will be displayed, and you can use it for digital marketing or any marketing queries you have. Definitely, I'm happy to help. Yeah, so thank you so much.